up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing today? Hold on. Oh, bloody. All right. Hold on. I gotta do something here real quick. All right, let's see if that worked. Sorry, guys. It's been a weird day today. I'm kind of off my game here. Okay, so it's just being weird. Just seeing if everything's situated. Do. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. We're good. Okay, so it's just being weird. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. Anyways, what's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. Sorry about being so late today. I had a rough night trying to sleep last night, so I'm having some difficulty today. Let's see. I'm just having a bit of difficulty today, just getting up and moving. So, yeah. So sorry about that. So what I'm going to talk about today is we're going to go through the Epstein list, the full transcript, I guess, of I don't even know what to call it. Let's see, what is it called? So Gifford versus Maxwell. Not really sure who Gifford is. Anyways, we're gonna go and let's see. Anyways, we're gonna look through the some of the PDFs. It names some names. So we're gonna go through that. I'm not gonna read every single line of the Epstein list. I will scroll through it, and yeah, a lot of these just have it's just a lot to go through. So we're just gonna go through a little bit. But yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go through it for a bit, and then we'll see where that takes us, and then we may do some other things. But generally, it's gonna be an Epstein thing today, just because it's very newsworthy. It's first come out and everything like that. So, let's see. Yeah, but we'll just scroll through. We'll hit on certain points. I haven't really read this thing all the way through, so I'll just scroll a bunch. Like I said, guys, I'm super tired. I'll probably just end at 8:30 regardless. But yeah. Anyways, if we have time, we'll do press secretary lies, Harvard president resigns, false accusers, and California gun crime. That's the plan for the day. Sorry. like I said, I'm really off today. I'm really exhausted. Oh man, my body fucking hurts. All right, so let's look at this. So this is the actual transcript, just an FYI to everyone. Let's see. So we'll be going through this. Sorry, I'm reading through this. So here's the interesting thing here. I can't recollect any having a meal with them, but just so we're clear, the allegation that Clinton had a meal on Jeffrey's Island is 100% false, but he may have had a meal on Jeffrey's plane. I'm sure he had a meal on Jeffrey's plane. You do know how many times he flew on Jeffrey's plane? I don't. The fuck? I don't. Do you know who Doug Band is? I do. How do you know him? He used to work or still works for Bill Clinton. Have you ever had a relationship with him? We talked about adult consensual relationships. It's off the record. I'm not asking you what you did with him. I'm asking if you ever had a relationship with him. If you understand the term relationship, certainly you can answer that. Define relationship. Someone that you would spend time together, either seeing them in a romantic relationship or you need to be. What do you mean by romantic? I was friends with Doug, but you are suggesting something more, so I want to be clear about what you are asking. So, what you are asking, you defined it. You defined it. You said you were friends with him. If that's all that you were, that's all I need to know. While you were on the trip with President Clinton, do you recall where you stayed at these locations? In other words, would you leave the jet and stay overnight at a hotel? Do you have a recollection of this trip? I recollect the trip, but if you're asking me where we stayed, you can see it's very fast-paced trip. It's very tiring, and I don't know why the name is. I'm sorry. I don't know why the name is. I'm sorry. I can't. I have no idea. I recognize the name, but that's it. Was Joanne Stongeberg a masseuse? Objection to form of foundation. What are you asking me? I'm sorry. When Joanne Sojberg worked for Jeffrey Epstein, did she perform massages? I've testified that when Joanne came originally, she came to answer for telephones. I believe at some point she became a masseuse. I don't recollect when, and I personally had massage from Joanne. What did Joanne do for Epstein? Did she perform massages? Anything else? Okay, so this is a lot of random shit, honestly. I mean, this is, I guess, relevant to a defamation case, apparently. I might actually end up stopping and going through this because I thought it had a lot more to do, but this seems to be a. Let's see. Let's go down to the last one. There's like 40 attachments. It's gonna be kind of hard to go through a bunch of this shit. And I'm also not a lawyer, so I don't understand a lot of this crap. So maybe It might be bad. To wait till like we're kid of law or someone goes through all stuff. So apparently, Virginia Gifford is suing Giselle Maxwell for defamation. So this is what it looks like it's pursuant in. They're just clicking on random ones at this point. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through this. God damn, this seems like ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do all this because I don't really understand half the shit that's going on here. No lawyer. Like I said, guys, I'm really off my game today, so this might not even be relevant to Epstein's list, honestly. All right, we're not going to really go through. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking it up. Okay, let's see. All right, sorry about that. Sorry for I probably should have gone through that whole but whatever. It's all good. What it is. All right, so here's a few snippets from it. This was released on Twitter. This is just and let's be clear. This document is as we saw something to do with a defamation lawsuit, I believe, between Virginia Gifford and Ghislaine Maxwell, however we say her fucking name. So it's the first document that's been released by court in connection to the court order of December 18th. And it's expected more are going to be coming out in the coming weeks. So we'll see more, maybe more concrete stuff. But this was a snippet from that right here on Twitter. Do you know if Bill Clinton was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein? Answer: I knew he had dealings with Bill Clinton. I did not know they were friends until I read the Vanity Fair article about them going to Africa together. Did Jeffrey ever tell you about Bill Clinton? Answer: he said one time that Clinton likes him young, referring to girls. Okay, so there's that. And here's another one. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? Not that I can remember. In New Mexico? Not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. All right, if you could turn. Okay, so that's it. So let's see. So it's so at least in there's referring to Bill Clinton. There's reference to Trump, and then a denial that Trump was ever at all interested or had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, which is good to hear. You really want to hear that. Let's see. All right, so then another connect to this Jeffrey Epstein thing. There's like, I think like rumors or something, or there was like one of these snippets on Twitter that said that referred to Jimmy Kimmel on the list of Jeff Epstein stuff. I was listening to Kid's show yesterday, and one of his audience members said that was proven false. So that I'm not going to post it, but here is something interesting on Jimmy Kimmel regarding the Epstein list. So let's listen to this real quick.
Mm-hmm. Bring it up, Foxy or somebody back there.
Seats on it.
You have Super Bowl 58.
You'll see it.
The emblem, put on the screen, and then bring up 57 and 56.
This has something to do with the Epstein list that came out.
Feels like
That's supposed to be coming out soon.
Look, this guy's been waiting in his wine cellar. Yeah. I've been waiting in my wine cellar for this thing.
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
All right. Obviously, a clip from this particular program was run on Jimmy Kimmel's show whenever Aaron brought up the list, and then Jimmy mocked him for it.
Mhm.
Aaron has not forgotten about that, but here we are sitting right in front of that nice bottle of scotch.
Mhm.
What do you say? I'm waiting to celebrate something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something off.
He's been waiting.
That's
for
the one.
You've been waiting.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if that list comes out, I definitely will be popping some sort of bottle.
Hey, you've been calling for it for a few years now. Anyone else notice this? Oh,
My God.
All right, so that's Aaron Rodgers, and he's talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And he's basically all he said was Jimmy Kimmel has an interest not for the list not to come out. I don't believe he even said that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list. He just said he had an interest for the list not to come out. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. But Jimmy Kimmel responded and he said, "Dear assholes, for the record, I have not flown with, visited, or have any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list other than the clearly phony nonsense that soft brain wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality. Your reckless words put my family in danger. Keep it up, and we will debate the facts further in court." So it's a really weird aggro moment to have. All he said was, all Aaron Rodgers said was that Jimmy Kimmel has an interest in the list not coming out. He never said that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list. I don't believe so. I haven't seen anything on that front. But they're referring to with him referring to Jimmy Kimmel being on the list. I haven't seen anything on that, but all he said was, yeah, Kimmel probably has an interest for the list not to come out. I don't think that's anything suable, in all honesty. He may not like it. He might not appreciate it, but it's not. It's completely different. So I don't know why I took those off because I got a video in my next one. But it's interesting to have such a strong reaction. It would be, I don't know. It'd still be a weird thing to have such a strong reaction if Aaron Rodgers said, "Oh, I bet Jimmy Kimmel's on the list," and even if he said that, I don't think that's even suable because it's not like you're saying like he's definitely on the list. It's like I think he's on the list, or even if you said that, oh, he's on the list. I don't even think that's a suable offense because you're just making an assumption, and it's not like you. I don't know. I don't even think that's suable, but it's interesting for having someone just say, "Yeah, I think he's interested in not having the list came out." That could be political reasons because there's a lot of maybe Jimmy Kimmel thinks there's a lot of Democrats that are on the list. And he's Democratic, or he's a part of the Democratic Party, like that's his politics. So he's not. He has an interest in the list coming out because it would hurt Democrats. That could be what Aaron Rodgers is referring to. I'm not saying that's what he is referring to, but that could be what Aaron Rodgers is referring to when he says Jimmy Kimmel has an interest in the list not coming out. It doesn't necessarily mean that Jimmy Kimmel's on the list. He's just saying that he has an interest, for whatever reason, for the list not to come out. And then Jimmy Kimmel has a very strong reaction. "You keep saying this, I'm going to sue you." Okay, dude, calm your tits. But yeah. All right, that's enough on the Epstein list. Let's listen to a liar.
We need to do that. We need to continue to work together on border security, right? The president, first day in his administration, in a couple of weeks, we're going to hit 3 years since the president been in administration. The first thing that he put forward was a comprehensive immigration law. And that's what he put forward to Congress. And that's because he believed that our system was broken and that it had been broken for decades and wanted to take that seriously. But we need Republicans in Congress to work with us on that. We appreciate the negotiations that's currently happening in the Senate. It's headed into the right direction. We want to come up with a bipartisan agreement, but we saw what the House passed ending of last year. They wanted to take away law enforcement folks who are at the border trying to protect our border. And so that's not what we want to see. We want to figure out how we work together. I just talked about the unity agenda. There's a lot of ways that we can work with Congress. Instead of them going after the president's family, they should really, truly, truly focus on the American family. We need to do that. We need to continue to work together on.
So the president has been doing all he he can to protect the U.S. border. Meanwhile, in Texas, and I've covered this several times, he sent government agents, federal government agents, to actively impede the prevention of the investigation that's sorry. All right, there we go. He's impeded federal agents from coming in, doing their jobs, and preventing illegal immigrants from entering. I haven't seen him do anything about a wall. I mean, can you name a thing that Biden's done to protect our border? I really can't. It's pretty obvious that he hasn't done shit to protect our border. And I think anyone paying attention can really see that. I mean, Texas had to sue the federal government to stop them from cutting their barrier wire down. And then they won that. So, I mean, is what she's saying actually true? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think President Biden's doing all he can to protect the U.S. border. If anyone's really paying attention, we all can see all he can. I mean, what he's doing with all his might is to ensure the border is wide open. So I really don't understand what she's trying to say. Doing all he can. I mean, look, you just need to look at Texas and see what all his doing is, and you can also look at, it's complete bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. But this is what their job is. They just lie a bunch of times, and hopefully you won't remember. All right, moving on. Sorry. Harvard University. Okay, so this was the other day, but Harvard University president Claudia Gay resigned Tuesday after facing intense scrutiny over for her equivalence testimony she gave at a congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism, as well as widening allegations of plagiarism in her academic work. It is with a heavy heart, but a deep love for Harvard, I write to share that I'm stepping down as president, Gay said in a letter to the Harvard community. This is not a decision I came to easily. Indeed, it's been difficult beyond words because I have looked forward to working with so many of you to achieve the commitment to academic excellence, and that has propelled this great university across the century. But after consulting with the university board, Gay added, it has become clear to me that it is in Harvard's best interest for me to resign so that our community can navigate this moment of extraordinary challenges with a focus on the institution rather than in any individual. Gay's 6-month tenure is the shortest wow, that's really short, in the university's 388 years, according to Harvard's Crimson student newspaper. She was the first Black woman and the second woman to lead the institution. The Harvard Corporation, the school's highest governing board, announced that Alan M. Garber, the school's provost and chief academic officer, would serve as interim president until a permanent successor is named. The corporation members said Gay will return to faculty position. Gay drew fierce criticism last month after she and her counterparts at the University of Pennsylvania and Massachusetts Institute of Technology appeared to sidestep the questions on whether calls for genocide of Jews violate school conducts. Penn President Liz McGill resigned days after the widely panning hearing. Gay then faced allegations of plagiarism in her political science scholarship. The Harvard Corporation ordered an investigation that revealed a few instances of inadequate citations, but found no violations of Harvard's standard of research misconduct. Gay's job appeared to be secured December 12th after the Harvard Corporation, responding to the growing calls for her ouster, released a statement saying its members reaffirm our support for President Gay's continued leadership of Harvard University. Apparently not. But the questions swirling around Gay's position did not abate over the holidays. Billionaire investor Bill Ackman, as well as conservative activists such as Christopher Rufo, continued to put pressure on Harvard via posts on social media. The Washington Free Beacon, a conservative publication, published an unsigned complaint Monday. It referred to new allegations of plagiarism, exacerbating the crisis. Harvard's communication office did not comment on the additional plagiarism accusations. The root of the outcry, leaders of the three most prestigious universities were called from the House before the House Committee on Education and Workforce on December 5th to testify about how their administrations respond to rise in anti-Semitism after October 7th Hamas attack in Israel, which set off a brutal war in Gaza. Gay repeatedly condemned both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, but her critics seized on her legalistic response to a line of questioning from Harvard alumnus Representative Elise Stefanski, Republican of New York, that went viral on social media. Stefankin asked Gay whether students who call for the genocide of Jews are in violation of campus code conduct. Gay did not answer directly, saying, in part, we embrace an commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful, and it's when the speech crosses into conduct that violates our policy against bullying and harassment, intimidation. The answer was met with swift backlash from the White House lawmakers in both parties and high-profile alumni. NBC's Saturday Night Live parody the hearing at the start of December 9th episode. In an interview with the Harvard Crimson student newspaper after the hearing made national news, Gay apologized for her remarks and said, in part, I got caught up in what became at that point an extended combative exchange about policies and procedures. I failed to convey what is my truth. This is a Harvard president, and she's talking about my truth. There's no such thing as my truth. There is the truth. There's only one truth. Gay attracted more scrutiny after critics such as Ackman and Ruffo highlighted instances of alleged plagiarism in her published academic works, which largely focused on American political behavior and the role of racial identity in politics. Harvard's board said it first learned of the allegation in late October, carried out an independent review of her work and found a few instances of inadequate citations. The board said Gay was proactively requesting 4 corrections in 2 articles to insert citation and quotation marks that were omitted from the original publication. But in the weeks to come, Gay continued to face plagiarism accusations. Most recently on Monday, when the Washington Free Beacon published unsigned complaints whose author purported to have found nearly 50 allegations, including over half a dozen examples never seen before. NBC News has not independently verified those claims. Gay has stated in her academic work, I stand by the integrity of my scholarship, she said in a statement on December 12th. Throughout my career, I've worked to ensure my scholarship adheres to the highest academic standards. Harvard's history professor Allison Frank Johnson, one of more than 700 members of the faculty who had signed a letter urging administrators to resist calls to remove Gay, said in an interview that she was flabbergasted by the president's exit. I was surprised to have this decision made so precipitously without following proper procedures being followed, Frank Jones said in an Zoom interview. Stefanski cheered the news of Gay's departure, writing in part in a post on X, 2 down. MIT President Sally Kornbluth gave what critics described as a similarly legalistic answer to Stefanki's question, but she has so far not faced major fallout. In a statement on MIT, on December 7th, MIT said cold birth has our full and unreserved support. Well, we've heard that before. I mean, Harvard had gave what's her face, Claudia Gay's support, and ended up not working out for her. All right. We're going to go out of order here. We're going to talk about the gun crime in California first, and then we'll get on to false accusers. All right. So California has like the strictest gun laws in the world, or in the states, like, or at least one of the states. Most states. So it's really strict to get a gun in California, but that's not preventing gun crime. Even though they said it would. Remember saying that if we do these things, we'll prevent gun deaths and gun crimes and all that shit, blah, 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 blah. So a 10-year-old boy in California, and this is a very tragic story. Don't get it twisted. But a 10-year-old boy, California boy, was shot over the weekend, died because the shooter, also said to be 10 years old, angrily opened fire after losing a bike race. The victim's mother said Tuesday. The shooter was being a sore loser after the informal race late Saturday afternoon in Foothills Farms, a community shown 60 miles northeast Sacramento, and consequently shot and killed Kenneth KJ Frierson. KJ's mother, Brittany Frierson. She said she was basing her accounts on what she was told by a neighbor's child who, among the kids riding their bikes before the shooting. Frierson gave KJ permission to ride his bike, which he had begged for Christmas before the attack. She said less than 15 minutes later, she ran outside after neighbors began banging on her door, shouting that something had happened to her son. I screamed for hours after I saw my child on the ground because I could just see he had no chance, Frierson said. I just knew that my child was gone. Authorities booked a subject whose name was withheld because he's a juvenile on suspicion of murder. His father, Erkit Davis, 53, was booked on suspicion of possession of a firearm by a felon, criminal storage of a firearm, carrying a stolen loaded firearm in a vehicle, child endangerment, and acting as an accessory to crime after effect, according to inmate records. He was scheduled to appear in court. It wasn't clear whether either suspect retained legal counsel. The area public defender's office didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Sacramento's court district attorney office said in an email that it could not comment on the case. Investigators believe Davis tried to dispose of a gun in a trash can after the attack. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, the shooting suspect was dispatched by his father to retrieve his cigarettes from his car, and while there, grabbed the gun, which was stolen and improperly stored. The sheriff's office said the child took a gun from inside the vehicle and bragged that his father had a gun, according to the sheriff's office, and proceeded to shoot the victim once and ran into a nearby apartment. Pearson said the neighbor's child told her the shooter angrily walked up after he lost the race and returned with a gun. Walked off after he lost the race and returned with the gun. After he came back, he shot KJ in the neck without saying a word, Pearson said. In an email, Sacramento County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Amar Gandhi said Pearson relayed what the neighborhood child told her when she spoke with an officer earlier Tuesday. There was nothing to add at our end, Gandhi noted. It was a sad situation all around. Pearson described her son as a generous, smart, friendly, inquisitive, and helpful. He was always helping the older women in the neighborhood bring in the groceries. There's nobody that met that boy did not come back and tell me to the side like, your son, you raised the boy good. He's such a good kid. Last year, goddamn, my eyes are killing me. Last year, KJ found a new community in the Sacramento youth football team junior football Mustangs, which said in a statement that he will truly be missed by all your Mustang family and friends. God damn, my throat's killing me. The mother said, Fearson said one of her fondest memories of KJ was his unbridled joy after he reached a championship game. With his brother and other teammates just days after he found out that his father had died. The mother said that the shooting suspect would often knock on her door to ask to play with her kids, and that she was heartbroken that her son was allegedly killed by someone he considered a friend. She alleged that the suspect's father was careless with a firearm. For you to be so careless to have something like that, a gun easily accessible to your 10-year-old child, it just says a lot about you, Fearson said, addressing Davis. I don't mean to lie. Again, this is a very tragic story, and my heart goes out to this woman. And to be fair, NBC probably didn't quote her all the way, but it's really funny to me that her issue isn't the fact that he, is more the fact that he understandably the issue, probably would be the fact that he didn't, store it correctly, that child could access it easily. But he's just careless about having the gun easily accessible. He's not careless for being a felon with a firearm that he's not legally able to have. But he's careless because he had a firearm easily accessible. Not the fact that he had one in general. It was just that it was easily accessible. It's kind of funny on my part. Again, if you really feel for this woman, my daughter's only like 2. So it's 8 years younger than KJ. But, my daughter was killed by a kid who grabbed a gun and shot her. I'd be very upset too. My heart really goes out for this woman. I really feel sorry for her. It's really dumb. But it's again, I wanted the story out because, as we can see, regardless of how many gun laws there are, people are going to do bad things. People are going to get access to guns and do bad things to them. And let's say you didn't have a gun, you probably still would do the bad thing. This was an immature child who couldn't handle losing a race, so he decided to shoot someone. So my heart really goes out for her. This is a really dumb thing to have happen. But it's interesting with all the gun laws that they said would prevent, all this stuff. It didn't prevent this death, unfortunately. And it kind of shows that no matter how many gun laws you put on, it's criminals are going to do criminal things and get guns regardless. This guy, shooter's father, was a known felon and legally couldn't own a gun, but was still able to access one. And then also, let me point this out too. California has a lot of the whole transgender crap. This is a 10-year-old who lost a race and was so emotional about it, got a gun and shot someone with it. And obviously, this is not every 10-year-old, but it's just to point out the fact that, 10-year-olds are emotional, irrational individuals. And they want to allow these kids to decide their gender and crap. It's interesting. California is just really fucked. But again, let's get back to, Miss Fearson. I really, my heart goes out to you. I couldn't imagine the pain you're feeling. And I hope, really, there's not much I can really say. I'm really sorry that this happened to you. Okay. So, moving on. Now let's go, we'll go from sympathy to outright hatred of individuals. I had sympathy for this last one. I hate these people. All right. She wanted vengeance. Woman, 20, who falsely accused a Good Samaritan, 36, of sexual assault, cost him his marriage, is jailed for 5 months. So this is rare. Well, this is in Australia, but this is rare. You're actually seeing a woman who falsely accused a man, and is actually punished. It's amazing. Also, only for 5 months. In my opinion, not nearly long enough, but all right. Anyways, let's go on. Ken Basic stopped to help a 19-year-old woman with her car at a service station. Woman had a broken down car. Mr. Basic spent 2 hours helping her fix it. They hugged and he followed her a short distance to make sure she was all right. Days later, the woman claimed Mr. Basic stalked her and decently assaulted her. Mr. Basic spent 2 weeks in jail, lost his job, and is going through a divorce. All charges were dropped against him after Caitlin Gray admitted to lying. Now, this was back in August 8th of 2019. This was prime in the if I remember right, this was the Me Too era right here. Yeah. Yeah, so October 7, or 2017 or 2017. So yeah, this is prime in the Me Too area. A woman who falsely accused a Good Samaritan for groping her and asking her to give him oral sex after he helped fix her car, causing his wife to leave him, has been jailed for 5 months. Caitlin Gray, 20, lied to police when she claimed she was stalked, harassed, and sexually assaulted by Ken Basic, 36, in Bankstown, Sydney, in November 2018. The married father of one vehemently denied the allegations, but spent a week inside Silverwater's jail in Sydney's West before Gray confessed she made it up. Mr. Basic, a father of one, also lost his job, was served divorce papers by his wife because of Gray's lies. Magistrate Glenn Walsh berated Gray for her consistent lies, which put an innocent man behind bars. She wanted vengeance due to what she perceived of Basic's behavior, Mr. Walsh said. This is not an error in judgment. She achieved her end of having him incarcerated. Gray appeared in the Bankstown local court on Friday, where she was sentenced to 9 months behind bars with a non-parole period of 5 months. On November 22nd, 2018, Gray pulled into a BP service station in Bankstown after she had a minor car accident. Car accident. Mr. Basic saw that Gray's car had broken down, offered to help her, spent 2 hours getting the vehicle back on the road. Gray claimed that after helping her repair the car, Mr. Basic lunged at her, grabbed her breast and vagina, and demanded a hug and oral sex as she owed him for his assistance. She claimed Mr. Basic then stalked her as she left the BP and drove through Western Sydney. Gray claimed her car then overheated and she got out to open the bonnet. That's hood. Mr. Basic, walked up the driver's side, tapped on the window, tapped it before asking. Walked up the driver's side window and tapped it before asking, come on, let's go. What have I done wrong? Gray claimed Mr. Basic then groped her and tried to get into her car. She told police that she drove away before calling her boyfriend, who then called 000. Apparently that's 911. She signed a statement claiming she had been sexually assaulted by Mr. Basic, and he was arrested the next day. Mr. Basic told the police he had helped Gray fix her car before following her to make sure she didn't have another breakdown. He was arrested and charged with inciting someone to commit an act of indecency and stalking. 5 days later, police tried and failed to find CCTV footage of the incident on Miller Perry Road in Liverpool, where Gray claimed Mr. Basic groped her. Police called Gray and asked if she had been grabbed by breast and vagina by Mr. Basic. Yes, I have no reason to lie, Gray said. Next day, Gray admitted to her deceit when questioned by police. Gray said he lied because she wanted Mr. Basic to go to prison and that he said something disgusting to her. I didn't know what to do. I would have eventually come clean because I would have had a guilty conscience. What the fuck? She said. Gray's lawyers are expected to lodge appeal to get her out of prison on bail. They're hoping Gray will be able to serve her sentence under intensive correction orders rather than behind bars. No, you need to go behind bars. So let me get this straight. Now, props to the magistrate judge for berating her, but it's not entirely her fault. What it appears when I'm reading this is police got her statement and then just went and arrested the guy. This is Australia, no due process apparently. Well, I guess there's not much, but no due process in this because he was arrested and charged, but there was, I don't know, maybe that's kind of standard. I've never been arrested, so I have no idea. Maybe that's kind of standard in everywhere. You get arrested and charged, but it seemed like it was just and this is her word. This is what she's saying, and we're gonna go off that and arrest this guy and charge him. And apparently this was enough. Her word was enough to not only arrest and charge him, but put him in prison for, it says 2 weeks and then it says 1 week. So 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. And then they couldn't find any instance of this. And asked her, are you, does this actually happen? And you're like, yeah, I have no reason to lie. Next day she gets questioned. Yeah, I'm lying. And then she goes, I didn't know what to do. I would eventually come clean because I would have a guilty conscience. Apparently not. But, I mean, seriously, even if he only spent 2 weeks, he lost his job. He's getting divorced now. I wonder if that got reversed. Or his wife is like, oh, never mind. But I'll be honest. If it were me, I wouldn't want to be with a woman who would instantly believe that I could potentially have ever raped some chick or sexually assaulted some chick based on just that chick's word alone. So I hope Mr. Basic here just like left. Also, I'm sorry, but dude, Mr. Basic, that's your fucking name, Ken Basic, Ken and Basic. I looked up, I couldn't see if anything. But yeah, I hope he kept with it. He actually did divorce his wife because some lady, say my wife, all right, if she instantly believed that I could, sexually assault some chick, based not on like any actual evidence, just on this chick saying that it happened, I wouldn't want to be with her anymore. It'd be one thing if there's video of it and you see me doing it and everything, and then you're like, I'm divorcing you. That's one thing. I was like, all right, you got some evidence, but apparently she just went off of this chick's word alone, saying it happened, and she divorced him. So I hope you didn't go back with it. Don't be a basic bitch, dude. It's a little late, but still. All right, we're moving on. Next one. But okay. First off, before I move on, it's just crazy to me that off of this chick's word alone, a man was jailed and for a week to 2 weeks, lost his job and got a divorce just off of some broad's word. That's it. No evidence whatsoever. No facts, nothing. Just off of her word. And this happens all the time. It's really crazy. All right, next one. This was in 2013. A Hampton, Virginia woman who falsely accused a man of raping her, landed him in prison for 4 years, will spend 2 months in jail. Elizabeth Page Coast, 26, will be allowed to serve her sentence on weekends. She came forward in 2012. I wonder if this guy she accused got to spend his prison on weekends. She came forward in 2012 saying that she lied about Jonathan C. Montgomery raping her. He spent 4 years in prison over the false claim. The Richmond Times-Dispatch reports. Coast told Judge Monday that when she was caught by her mother looking at pornography on the internet, she said she had been sexually assaulted, blamed her neighbor. What? Wait, hold on. So she got caught looking at porn, and her reasoning was being sexually assaulted? The fuck? I had no idea how far this lie would go, Coast said. during Montgomery's case, Coase testified that he molested her in 2000, when he was 14 and he was 10 and she was 10. Montgomery was convicted and sentenced to more than 7 years in prison, according to the Washington Post. When Montgomery was arrested, Coase said she stuck to her lie. I was petrified of the police. Everyone in my life knew. I was afraid of what my family would think. Despite lack of evidence in trial, judge took Coase's word over Montgomery's and sentenced the innocent man. It's just too awful, Montgomery told the Associated Press after his release in 2012. She can't take it back. She did what she did, and she has to deal with the consequences. Yeah, her consequences are 2 months. Consequence of sending an innocent man to prison for 4 years include paying $90,000 in restitution along with her just jail sentence. So look, this is another instance of a woman who falsely accused a guy and, actually got, punished for it. But what was her punishment? 2 months in jail served on the weekends. Okay. No. At minimum, and I'm saying minimum, she should spend as long as he would have had she not finally admitted the truth, or it turned out to, they were able to prove that it was a lie. That's at minimum. That's how long she should be spending in jail. She didn't be able to get off on going on weekends. That's it. And 90,000 restitution. Oh, that's nice. Oh, 90,000 for 4 years. Okay, 90,000. Let's multiply that by 4. That should be the restitution. Now, will we ever get that? No. I hope he sues the court. But odds are they have qualified immunity, which is a joke in itself. But it's just ridiculous. Again, off of some broad's word, we're going to listen and jail innocent people for it. This is why I hardly believe nowadays a lot of chicks' assertion of being raped or sexually assaulted, especially if there's no police report. Like when these chicks go on podcasts and whatnot. Actually, bring up this next video. But whenever chicks go on podcasts like Fresh and Fit or whatever, didn't mean to say that twice, but and they go, "Oh, I was sexually assaulted or I was raped or whatever." I don't believe them instantly unless there's like a police report. I just really don't believe them because there's been so many times, Mattress Girl, Duke Lacrosse, etc., that these women will lie their asses off for attention, feel sorry for me or to get out of trouble. It's just ridiculous to me, really. All right. So let's listen to this chick. So this chick is on a podcast, and she admits that she faked her bruises to get her boyfriend in trouble with the police and get his kids taken off.
I was like, I felt so bad about it. I called child services on this one.
Oh, she feels so terrible about it. Now she's laughing about it. She thinks it's fucking hilarious.
I called child services on my ex because he pissed me off. And then I was like, yeah, I'm done with this person, whatever. Cheater, fucking piece of shit, lies about dumb shit. He had kids. I called child services on his ass and I fabricated everything and said certain things, and they went to the door and there was a whole process. I don't even know if the children's aid worker still visits them, but she probably does, because what I said, the way I AI'd that shit, real AI shit, fake bruises.
Look how proud she is about this too. Look how proud she is. Look, she thinks that's hilarious.
Be careful, fellas. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
So
look, let me just say this maskless dude. I'd kick her the fuck out. I'd be like, "You really did this? You think this is hilarious? All right, bye." For 2 reasons. One, she's clearly a psychopath. And 2, how do you know she's not going to turn around and say the same shit about you? Oh, when the cameras is off, he assaulted me.
fake bruises, you fake shit, and then you just made like an exaggeration story, and then
on their on his kids.
yeah.
Like so he came and they were like, oh, like we're seeing stuff that your kids are being abused, you know, you could lose your kids. And I was just like, that sucks.
That's
Yeah, should have been nicer to me, bitch.
See, should have been nicer to me. You should have been nicer to me. And because you are not quote unquote nicer to me, I'm going to lie. It's really ridiculous. So I just wanted to point that out, show those two clips. Really aggravates me. This chick's like, you know, so I hope her hopefully ex, sees this, clips it, and sends it to the CPS people. Like, can you leave me alone? She lied. She admits to lying. Fucking CPS, it's a garbage thing as well. I'm sorry. I'm just really aggravated now because, like, you know, she thinks it's hilarious. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the whole world. I lied to and falsely accused this guy. It's so funny. Ha ha ha. It's so hilarious. I lied and got this guy in trouble and had CPS on his door. Ha ha ha. Go fuck yourself, whore. That's all she is. She's just a fucking dumb whore. And she's really not good for anything. So she's had to you know, compensate. Like she's just a fucking whore. All right, that's all I got for the day. Sorry for the late start. I even still did an hour. Go me. Yeah. Exhausted. It is funny. I'm looking on Twitter and the Epstein list is blowing up. And everyone is, you know, breaking news. Trump was exonerated. Yeah, of course Trump didn't do anything with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's a G. All right. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on X at officialwghost. Follow me on Rumble, rumble.com/withghost, and Gaming with Ghost for my gaming channel. Twitch.tv official with Ghost. Kick.com official Gaming with Ghost, or is it just Gaming with Ghost? I can't fucking remember. On YouTube, it's with Ghost and Gaming with Ghost are my two channels. But make sure you at least follow me on X. That is the best way to follow me. Because that's when that's how I send out the links and everything. I hope you all have a good day. Peace out and see you later.